much for joining. If you like this video, please press like and subscribe and leave a comment to let me know what you think of it. This is just going to be a short yoga flow that you can do at home on your own. So coming onto the mat now, let's begin on all fours, on hands and knees, and inhaling to arch the spine. Exhaling to round, bringing the chin towards the chest. Inhaling to arch, lifting the tailbone towards the sky. And exhaling to round. Maybe giving a bit of movement from side to side. Just waking up your spine here, however feels right for you. Tucking your toes under here and pushing back into a downward dog. So you can begin with your knees bent a little, really pushing your hips up and back behind you. Have the fingers spread nice and wide, hugging the forearms towards each other and moving the upper arms away from each other. Stretching nice and long down the backs of the legs, now reaching the heels down to touch the mat. Let's walk the dog out now, stretching one leg, bending the other, and bending one and straightening one. Just walking out the dog, stretching all the way down the backs of the legs. Now bringing your heels down to aim to touch the mat. It doesn't matter if they're not touching the mat. Make sure your downward dog is wide enough that your hands and feet are far enough away from each other. At the end of the next exhale, let's walk the toes towards the top of the mat, towards the fingertips. Hold on to opposite elbows. Now let the head, neck, upper back, everything fall down towards the toes. Releasing your hands, rolling up through the spine. So we'll bring the shoulders, neck and head up last. And standing at the top of the mat. Inhaling now to lift up. Exhale, folding forward, standing forward, fold. Inhaling, extending halfway forwards. Exhale, let's step all the way back with the right leg. Step all the way back with the left leg. Now we're in plank. The body's in a really nice straight line. Shoulders are above the wrists, pushing back through the heels and reaching forwards through the crown of the head. Exhale, lowering knees, then chest, then chin. Inhaling into a baby cobra. And exhale, pushing back into a downward dog. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Inhaling to extend your right leg out behind you. Exhale, bring the right knee towards the right arm. Inhaling to extend. Exhale, knee to the center of the chest. Inhaling to extend. Exhale, knee towards the left arm. Inhaling to extend. Exhale, let's bring the right foot to the outside of the right little finger. Keep the back knee lifted if possible. Reach forwards through the crown of the head. Push back through the heel. And maybe move backwards and forwards just very gently here. Inhaling to extend the right leg back behind you into a three-legged downward dog. Now let's bring the right foot towards the left side, coming onto the inside of the left foot and the outside of the right foot, reaching the left arm into the sky. place the left hand back down, reach the right leg back out behind you, opening through the hip, stepping the right leg back, reaching the right arm into the sky, opening through the heart, coming into a wild thing. And making your way back into a downward dog. Inhaling to extend your left leg behind you. Exhale, left knee towards the left arm. Inhaling to extend. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhaling to extend. Exhale, knee towards the right arm. Inhaling to extend. Exhale, let's bring the left foot to the outside of the left little finger. Keep the back knee lifted if possible. If you need to drop it down, you can. Otherwise, knee lifted and very gently forwards and backwards. Hands down, reaching the left leg back behind you in a three-legged downward dog. And let's bring the left foot through to the right side. Come onto the outside edge of the left foot, inside edge of the right. Lifting the right arm into the sky. Exhale, right hand down, lifting the left leg behind you into a three-legged downward dog, opening the knee towards the sky, stepping the leg back behind you, opening through the heart. And exhale, making your way back into a downward dog. Well done. Let's come into a puppy pose from here. So your knees are under your hips. Reach forwards with your arms, bring your chest down onto the mat and your chin onto the mat. Maybe it's just your forehead on the mat, or maybe it's your chin. Really opening through the chest. And now coming back onto all fours. Tuck all of the toes under, including the baby toe. Try to have all 10 toes tucked under and sit back onto the toes, stretching all the way down the back of the feet. Hands in prayer. Close your eyes here. Well done, gently release. Now bring your feet the other way, so the toe side is down. Sit your hips back onto the mat. If it's difficult for you to do this or you have a knee injury, sit yourself up on a blanket or something here. Otherwise, if it feels okay, sitting your hips down in between your legs, so we're stretching down the fronts of the shins and ankles here. So either just stay here breathing, or maybe you feel that you can come back onto your elbows, breathing here. Or coming a little further back into the pose, all the way down to lying on the mat. If you're not in any of these, just sitting up on the block or blanket. And then very gently making your way back up to sitting from here. Okay, so from here, let's come into a downward dog. Reach your hips up and back behind you. And we're going to come into a side plank now. So bring the right hand to the center of the mat. Come onto the outside edge of the right foot, lifting the left arm into the sky. If this is a little too challenging for you, step the left leg forwards at a right angle. And it's the exact same pose, just taking a little bit of the weight off. Maybe reaching your arm forwards now, stretching all the way along the left side. Bringing the left hand back down, making your way back into a downward dog. Left hand to the center of the mat, outside edge of left foot, reach the right arm into the sky, look up towards the thumb, or if you need to, step that top leg forwards at a right angle. Make sure you're on the very outer edge of the foot. Hands back down to the mat, making your way back into a downward dog. Come down onto your hands and knees. Now we're going to do a thigh stretch. So step the left leg forwards with a bend at the knee. Come a little further back onto the back knee so that you're more onto where the thigh meets the knee. If your knees are a little sensitive right now, you can double the mat under or place like a blanket or something there. So we're going to reach back with the left hand to grab hold of the foot. Keep your body facing forwards and lean forward slightly. So we're stretching along the right hip flexor and thigh here. The further forwards we lean, the more we increase the stretch. Maybe balancing here, reach your left arm into the sky and open through the heart slightly. Lula? No, bed. Sorry guys, it's dinner time for Lula. And gently release. Now let's change sides here. Right foot forwards, the knees bent at a right angle, and then come a little further onto the top of the thigh and the back leg. Maybe you need to fold the mat under or place a blanket there. Never come anywhere where there's pain. The poses will definitely feel uncomfortable, but you never want to go anywhere that's causing you pain. So now we're leaning forward, slightly stretching along the left hip flexor and thigh, reaching the right arm into the sky, opening through the heart slightly. And gently release. Well done. Let's come to seated now. So we're just going to stretch all the way along the back body and the hamstrings. Feet together. Inhaling to lift up and exhale, folding forwards, holding onto the toes or the outside of the feet. Inhaling to lift and lengthen and exhale, folding a little further. Inhale to sit back up, and now bend your knees and gently roll down onto your back. Let's hug your knees into your chest, have a gentle rock from side to side here. Hold on to the outside edges of the feet, coming into a happy baby. So the head is on the mat and the tailbone is reaching towards the mat as well. Nice, long, comfortable spine. Release this pose and reach your legs nice and long. Now we're going to come into a Shavasana. So let the toes fall out to the sides. Let your head rest on the mat. Just close your eyes here. Completely relax and spend as long as you need to here. This pose is really, really important. Resting pose. Have a wonderful day. Lots of love.